Edo period Japan, 1603 to 1868. Listen, you are here. The air is thick with the smell of burning pine and the salt of the nearby sea. Your eyelids are heavy, sealed against the world. You feel nothing but the solid, calloused strength of arms holding you and the steady rhythm of a heartbeat against your cheek. Your mother's voice hums a song older than any temple in this land, a lullaby passed from grandmother to daughter for countless generations. You do not understand the words, you only know the warmth, the safety, the illusion that the world is gentle. You are born in Japan. The year is unknowable to you, but the calendar marks it somewhere in the long, strange peace between 1603 and 1868. The Tokugawa shogunate holds the nation in a fist of iron, wrapped in a glove of silk. After centuries of screaming battles and falling castles, after rivers ran red with the blood of samurai and the cries of widows filled the smoky air, a fragile quiet has settled over the land. The swords have been sheathed. The wars have ended, but a different kind of war has begun. A war of silence, of rules, of invisible chains. Because peace is not freedom. Freedom is a luxury for those who do not have to ask permission to breathe. Freedom is for those who can walk out their front door and choose their own path. For those who can speak their minds without fearing the consequences. For those who can love whom they choose, work where they choose, become what they choose. And you, little one, are a girl. Your life is a path set in stone before you even open your eyes. A path governed by rules you did not write, dictated by a world you will never control. The stones are smooth and ancient, worn down by the feet of millions of women who came before you. Each one walked the same road. Each one carried the same weight. Each one disappeared into the same silence. You do not know any of this yet. You are only a heartbeat in your mother's arms, a tiny fist curling around her finger, a small, fragile breath in a vast and indifferent world. But the world is already watching you, already measuring you, already deciding what you will become. You are born into an ordinary household, not a samurai's citadel where honor is a blade and disgrace is a wound that never heals. Not a lord's castle, where politics are whispered in the shadows of painted screens and marriages are treaties signed in blood and silk. Not a merchant's mansion, where fortunes rise and fall on the price of rice and the whisper of a single rumor can destroy a dynasty. Your home is a humble wooden house with a dirt floor and paper walls that let the rain sing through them. The roof is thatched with straw that leaks when the autumn typhoons come. The windows are small and the light is dim. There is enough boiled rice to fill your bowl, but every grain is counted. Every harvest is a prayer whispered to the gods of the fields. Every winter is a test of survival. Your father works. He rises before the sun and returns after it has set. His hands are cracked and calloused. His back is bent from years of labor. He speaks little, for he is tired. He is always tired. Your mother works harder. Her hands are never still. She stirs the morning soup before the sun dares to show its face, the wooden ladle scraping against the iron pot in a rhythm you will carry in your bones for the rest of your life. She scrubs the floors until her knuckles bleed, the cold water stinging her chapped skin. She spins thread from the cocoons of silkworms, her fingers dancing with a frantic grace that seems almost inhuman. She mends kimonos until the fabric is more thread than cloth, her needle moving in the dim light of a single candle. And when the rice paddies call, she wades into the mud beside the men, her back bent, her skin kissed raw by the sun, her feet sinking into the cold, wet earth. She is everywhere. She does everything, and she never complains. You watch her. You learn her. You become her. You believe this is simply what it means to be a woman, a fact of nature, like the rain, like the seasons, like the turning of the earth. It does not occur to you to question it. Why would it? Everyone around you lives the same way. Your grandmother lived this way. Her mother before her, and her mother before that. The chain stretches back into the mist of time, unbroken and unyielding. But you are wrong. Edo Japan is a kaleidoscope, not a mirror. It is a world of fragments, each one reflecting a different light. A samurai's daughter lives a life of rigid ceremony, trapped in a gilded cage of etiquette where every bow, every word, every gesture is measured and judged. She wears layers of silk that weigh her down like chains. She speaks in a language of formalities that leaves no room for truth. She is a jewel in a box, beautiful and silent and utterly powerless. A merchant's daughter learns the abacus and the shamisen, her value measured in the currency of marriage. She is educated not to expand her mind, but to attract a husband. Her reading and writing are tools of commerce, not of liberation. Her music is a performance, not an expression. She is an investment, and her family expects a return. You were born a girl in Edo, Japan. Your story is not a triumph. It is not a tragedy. It is something far more human. It is the story of survival, of adaptation, of making the best of a world that was never designed for you. It is the story of millions of women whose names are dust but whose hands shape the world. They cooked the food. They raised the children. They kept the secrets. They endured the injustice. They created the beauty. They survived. You lived through births and deaths, marriages and heartbreaks, good harvests and bad harvests. You worked from sunrise to sunset, day after day, year after year. You carried traditions forward. You adapted to a society that expected you to fit a particular role. And when you finally look back at your life, you realize something. You were not born into history as a famous person. You were never a samurai. You never ruled a castle. Your name will probably disappear, forgotten by everyone except the generations you raised. But you lived. You worked. You raised children. You carried traditions forward. You survived. That was life for many women in Edo, Japan. Not one story. Millions of different stories, and yours was only one of them, but it was yours. And that matters. That matters more than anything. Because history is not only made by emperors and shoguns, it is also made by ordinary people trying to survive inside the systems they inherit, by women who never made it into the history books, by mothers and daughters and wives and widows who kept the world turning while men wrote the rules. Your life was not simply oppression. It was not simply happiness. It was something more complicated, more real, more human. You had responsibilities. You had relationships. You had work. You had fears. You had choices. Those choices existed inside a world built long before you were born, but they were still choices, still yours. And you made them every day, every moment, every breath. You survived. That is your story, not one story. A million stories, and yours is only one of them. But it is enough. It is always enough.